see, as Africa's digital economy accelerates, the demand for seamless, scalable, and secure connectivity is reshaping how people and businesses interact across the continent. At the heart of this transformation is ESIMs, embedded SIMs, technology, a breakthrough poised to redefine mobile communication, unlock new economic opportunities, and enhance regional integration. Joining us to unpack this, we have Dr. Ben Adeni, is the founder CEO Univasa, joining me right here in the studio. Great to have you.
Great to have you. Thank you so much.
So, talking about eSIMs,
Yes.
at this point, some people might not understand the technology.
Okay.
Talk to us about how it works, because I remember back in the days, when we started having the mobile network operators, I know a SIM card was going for as high as 50,000 naira, and it was like physical. You could see it, and we've been seeing it for the longest time.
Yeah.
So what is it about the eSIM, embedded SIM technology?
Okay, maybe I can start from where the physical SIM card, started. It started in Germany in 1991. It's a very big size. It's as big as the size of an ATM card. Then gradually it became, smaller, which is what we call, the mini SIM card, the micro SIM card. Now we have the nano SIM card.
Nano, yeah, very tiny one.
The very tiny one. So now, technology now became advanced such that we now have the copper area of the physical SIM card being embedded inside the motherboard of the phone, which is what is called eSIM, Embedded Subscriber Identity Module. So that's what the eSIM in technology
it's gone from big, small until it disappears.
Yeah, literally. Because if you still open the phone, you will still find the eSIM there. You still find the physical SIM card embedded on the phone. Yeah, of course, technology will continue to advance, and we'll have something like iSIM, which is integrated SIM cards.
And I'm sure AI will have some kind of role.
A lot of
definitely, in that. We keep seeing technology improve. But talk to me, are there any regulatory challenges, when it comes to this technology, or is it just smooth sailing?
It's not smooth sailing, obviously. There are technology challenges. Number one is the compatibility of the devices. Okay? It's not all phones that are compatible with eSIMs. Yes, we see, some phone manufacturers and OEMs are shipping out devices that are eSIM compatible.
Because I know the price of phones now are not funny. Phones now, the very good ones, for those that love the high end, you're spending like 2-3 million naira.
Yes.
Due to the weakness, with the naira. So I'm guessing this kind of phones will be expensive.
So the costs variation is not that high, but yes, because the OEM are adding an eSIM there, obviously it costs some dollar extra, to ship them to Africa. And statistics has also shown that about 45% of all the smartphones that ship to Africa in 2024 are eSIM compatible. So we still have a long way to go with having our devices eSIM compatible in Africa.
Right, and talking about a long way to go, I know a couple of MVNOs have licenses now to operate. That's mobile virtual network operators.
Yeah.
And there's some kind of, I believe there's some kind of handshake between the MVNOs and the MNOs, the mobile network operators. That's the ones we have, right now, the big four.
The big four,
at this point. So how is that going, at this time?
Okay, so in 2023, the regulator brought out a framework which led to more than 40 companies, successfully acquire the license of mobile virtual network operator. And what is expected in that framework is to work very closely with the MNOs. Okay, the MVNO license do not give spectrum license. It simply means that we can uptake some of the voice, SMS, and data services of the, the mobile network operators, so that there will be some kind of a relationship between them.
That's the likes of MTN, Airtel,
Yes, and Glo. Yeah, those are the MNOs. So we call them host network. So, and the MVNOs are the partners, in this regard. So the MVNO framework is meant to be like, you have your own brand name, okay? Say, just call it another network name. But your host network is what will be driving that connectivity at the background. And Nigeria is not the first. In fact, it's coming so late because MVNO framework and implementation has happened in America, in Europe, for about a decade now. So yes, we have a lot of learning from there to really make our own successful.
So the MVNOs, do they make maybe voice and data, do they make it cheaper, or what value do the MVNOs bring to this value chain?
So MVNO bring value-added services. MVNO bring deeper penetration in terms of connectivity. So an area where an MNO is not covered, you will see an MVNO going to that area.
So it's like the banks and the fintechs?
Very, very similar.
Okay.
Very, very similar. The difference is that the fintech still has a way to, to have the interchange happen, with the likes of NIPS, which is like a separate entity. But for MVNO, is a bit different. The MVNO are closely tied to the MNO. Without the MNO, the MVNO will not be able to send or receive any call or even transmit data. Okay. So, however, with the fintech, you can still, you can send and, you can send payments within the same subscribers of the fintech. All right. Just go round through the names and come back to the, to another subscriber. But for MVNO, you just have to go through a radio mast. Just have to go through a cellular network. And the people that own the cellular network today are the MNOs.
Right. And, talking about the MVNOs, and you said they'll have a separate brand. And
yes,
they use the host's, architecture and all of that to operate.
Yeah.
But it's been a while now.
Yes.
I don't think I've seen any MVNO out there doing what they're supposed to be doing. Is that normal?
Well, it's maybe seem normal. It may also be seen challenging. One major challenge you have is the capital. It's capital intensive, and it's expected that anyone going into that space must have deep pockets, if you want to say. And the other challenge could be, of course, compliance to the regulatory, policies and procedures and things like that. Yeah, and the other challenges that the MVNO may be having is the integration with the MNOs. Okay, that is very important, particularly if the MNOs are not really ready for an MVNO integration. It will take time.
Right. So we should wait for the big boys to allow the MVNOs to come play, at this point.
Practically, yes.
All right. So, with this whole technology trend that we're seeing in, the communication space, what other trend are you seeing right now that you think is, shaping the way we communicate in Africa, and making it easier, for us to talk to each other?
I'll mention the Internet of Things. It's not there yet in Africa, but it's coming up. Internet of Things, IoT, is simply a network of devices that are connected over the internet. And in Africa, I see that a lot of interest from both the governments, and the individual. For instance, in electricity, the electricity distribution companies now are engaging IoT devices which are powered by eSIM cards. Yeah. So that whenever there is a short circuit on the circuit breakers or something trip off, they could be notified at their head office. And that is being driven by a technology under IoT called SCADA. SCADA is supervisory control and data acquisition. So whereby these electricity companies are able to install all those sensors around their facilities, and they can sit and watch on a mimic board, and they can see all of those triggers happening from the field. So it's really aid prompt responses when things happen. Another example of IoT, which is really coming up, is in water distribution companies. So there's a lot of valves, there's a lot of pipes, running of tanks and things like that. So the water distribution company need to know what is happening, because where the treatment plants are always very far from the city. So they always have this mimic board also, very similar to the electricity company, where they need to monitor in real time what is happening. And it even go beyond monitoring. It also include control. And so the whole value chain, the whole experience is powered by an IoT-driven devices. And eSIM is really taking that stage. Yeah.
All right, we'll keep tracking the growth of the eSIM technology, and definitely see adoption, how that grows around the continent and right here in Nigeria. I want to thank you, Dr. Ben Denny is the founder and CEO of Universa. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me.